was recovered. I know you were all worried about the goings on, but it was just a matter of time. What belongs to MDC will belong to. What belongs to President Mwonzora will belong to. You know that in any struggle there are setbacks. And when we expect that, it was never going to be easy to walk this tough road post the death of Morgan Tsvangirai. So we continue to trudge on until final victory. So ladies and gentlemen, without wasting your time, I want to introduce my panel here. I'll start with the lady, Naimunyai, who is the organizing secretary for the Women's Assembly. I'll then go to Msharukwa Chikonas, Ndala Chiwara, which is our guardian council. You know, every party needs some wisdom. So tine majena mrevu yedu, wana soro jena, ndio walipa. Tina Mr. Chinake, our director of security. Honorable Chinake, you know him, he was our senator. Then we have got our proficient presidential spokesperson, Akacheno, Anonzi Lloyd Damba, Lloyd Damba, the point person we do for, you know, information broadcasting in the President's office. I am Dr. Mashakada, the Secretary General. You all know me. I want to recognize other members, senior members, leadership here seated, Harare Province, our senior security staff here present, our media department also here present, security here present, and members of the general staff of the MDC here present. Then before I call upon him to address you, I want to introduce to you Senator Douglas Togarase Mwonzora, who is the MDC leader, the MDC president. And as you know, he's a top lawyer, he's a top legal practitioner in this country, a former lecturer of law at the University of Zimbabwe, a holder of an MBA degree, and an experienced politician. So he's going to discuss so many issues, and then he will raise questions after his address. So I want to ask President Mwonzora to address the media. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Secretary General Dr. Mashakada, for the kind introduction. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, welcome to this press conference. I want to join the Secretary General in thanking you for coming at such short notice. We do not take your attendance for granted. We are meeting at the most defining moment of our party and our country. As you know, on the 4th of November 2025, a group of people came and raided the Emirati House. There was no doubt that that group was actions were meant to derail the agenda of the MDC. The MDC had set an agenda in this country, and it was proceeding with that agenda. And the coming in to raid the Emirati House was meant to intimidate us, to cow us into submission, and to disturb the people's agenda that we are carrying. I am happy to inform you that even after the raid, our National Council set on the 9th of December and made far-reaching decisions. One of the decisions was that those leaders who had played rogue, who had gone rogue, who were derailing the people's movement should leave the party. So we are here faced with an opportunity. All this crisis has given us a great opportunity. An opportunity for renewal, an opportunity for rejuvenation, an opportunity to usher in a serious, disciplined and principled leadership at the time that Zimbabwe is crying for reconstruction. So as a party, as a government in waiting, we are going to play our role to make sure that the issues that Zimbabweans are facing are addressed. As you know, our country is facing unfathomable problems. There is unemployment, there is poverty, there is inequality. If you go to Borodero and the other leafy suburbs, there is construction happening every day. But if you go to Zengeza, to Highfield, to Pakose, to Mbare, no construction is happening. In fact, the current system, the current economic system has produced only two classes in Zimbabwe. The very, very rich class and the very, very poor people. In other words, it has killed the middle class. We as a social democratic party, we want the wages of the workers, especially the civil servants, to be improved. We want equal access to national resources, especially our mineral resources. We want Zimbabweans to benefit from their mineral wealth, and we are against the new form of colonialism that has come to our country, where we see the nationals from other countries milking our mineral resources day in, day out in their raw form. Our platinum, our lithium, our gold is leaving Zimbabwe every day to develop other countries without much benefit to the people of Zimbabwe. We want our wealth, our mineral wealth, to benefit our people. We want equal opportunity for all Zimbabweans. I'm aware of the problems that people who are in schools are facing. Too much, very, very expensive school fees and so on. So we want support for education, especially in the tertiary institution. Now, in line with what the National Council of the MDC decided on the 9th of December, we have effected a few leadership changes in our party. We have dealt with those people who tried to derail the people's struggle. There is no place for indiscipline in our party. There is democracy. MDC is a democratic party. That's why, if you want to be president, you have to be elected by Congress. If you want any leadership position, it has to be elected. And those people try to get leadership through undemocratic means. That can never be allowed. We want a leadership that will deliver for the people of Zimbabwe. As you know, ladies and gentlemen, the aim of the MDC is to take over governmental power through peaceful, democratic, and constitutional means. Govern differently and change the lives of the people of Zimbabwe for the better. So we want a leadership that is going to deliver just that. And I'm happy that the MDC has no dearth of leadership. So some of the leaders I will announce here, but others I will not. I'm just announcing the notable changes that we have made. The other leadership, you'll get a list maybe tomorrow after I've completed the consultation with the other leaders here. So I want people to understand what is happening here. There was a judgment by Joe J in February 2025, and that judgment nullified the Congress of the MDC held on the 18th of December 2022. What that means, therefore, was that the Congress never took place. That's what the judgment, the effect of the judgment is. And I've seen a number of leaders of the MDC, people who were in the standing committee, saying that they support the judgment. They want the judgment to be effected. And right now, right here, we are effecting the judgment. And what that judgment then means is that whosoever was holding a position by virtue only of being elected at the 2022 Congress ceases to hold that position. That's what the judgment says. And we have now had the judgment interpreted by our Arbiter General. And the Arbiter General says we go to the default position that was there before the Congress. And the default position was that there was a leader elected at the extraordinary Congress, that is the president, in 2020, December in 2020. And also, there were nominations that took place on the 20th of November 2022, where the president was nominated unopposed. And by virtue of that, he was declared duly elected. Now, because the Joe judgment is in effect now, we are therefore going to the positions as before that judgment. So what that means is that our president is myself, D.T. Mwonzora. Our vice president is Paulina Mpariwa. Paulina Mpariwa takes over the position left by Thokozani Kube. As you know, in the MDC, we replace a woman with a woman. We don't replace a woman with a man. That is policy. So Dr. Kube joined the CCC, and she is their senator there. So Paulina Mpariwa is vice president. We do not have at this point in time a second vice president until the consultations have been completed. Our new national chairperson is Dr. Tapiwa Mashakada. Yes, you know, Dr. Mashakada has been with the party since its formation. He was Deputy Secretary General, Treasurer General, Secretary for Finance, and recently he was the Secretary General. Secretary General at a very, very difficult time, period of our party, and we are happy that we were able to stabilize the party. So we have decided to kick him upwards. He is going to be the national chairperson. This is a great responsibility. Unfortunately, some of the national chairpersons we have had did not live to their responsibility. It is the job of the national chairperson to ensure discipline of the party, to ensure the health of the party, to ensure that the party adheres to its founding principles, to make sure that the constitution is followed to the letter. And I think in Dr. Mashakada we have a competent character, and I'm glad that he accepted the appointment as the national chairperson. He is going to help us organize for the Congress that's going to come, and organize the party from branch to the national level. We are going to be reconstructing the party, and we hope that he will be of great help there. He will be deputized by a man who performed wonders here at Harvest House, able to take over Harvest House without touching anyone. We were able to take Harvest House. I will come to that later. And the person who was director of security, Voice Chinake, is now the deputy national chairperson. Our Secretary General is going to be Brian Dube. Brian Dube is a lawyer. He was our Treasurer General, one of the young, dynamic people that we have in the party. We will announce his deputy in due course. Let me go to the National Treasurer General. Aaron Makahamadze, who was our spokesperson, is now our National Treasurer General. We have a new Secretary for Security and the Director of Security. So we have combined these positions. Secretary for Security and the Director of Security is Joseph Tonderai Mazio. He was the head of VIP protection. The head of the VIP protection becomes Tawanda Mija. Secretary for Information, we have a new Secretary for Information, and I hope he accepts the appointment. And he is Terence Mambende from the Midlands. He will be deputized by Albert Sanyika, who was from the Youth Assembly. Our chairperson for the Women's Assembly becomes Constance Chiwururu. Constance Chiwururu was the deputy to Dorothy Njovu. Dorothy Njovu has fallen by the wayside. She remains a member of the National Executive. The head of the Youth Assembly becomes Decent Zaida, who was organizing secretary for the Youth Assembly. Ladies and gentlemen, what I've announced is not the complete standing committee. There are, as I said, the list will be made available to you. These are the notable changes that we have had. Now, the standing committee is going to meet sometime this week to organize for the National Council, which is going to meet very, very soon. We are going to go flat out in carrying out our national agenda. We are waiting as the MDC for the amendments that the bill, the constitutional amendment bill that we hear has been prepared. We want to see it, we want to study it, and to see what is in there. But the position of the MDC has not changed regarding the issue of changes to our constitution. Our position remains the same. But we will be very interested in reading what the bill says. We want to see whether the bill is doing away with referendum. And if it does that, our reaction and our attitude is well known. We do not accept that, we do not support that. But we want to see it first and we want to study it. Our Youth Assembly is going to be more active than it hitherto has been. And we know that there are plans by some people to destabilize us in the provinces by trying to grab the provincial offices. That is not going to happen at all. That is not going to happen. Our Youth Assembly has our instructions to act as a Youth Assembly should act. And we are not going to take prisoners on this regard. We have seen enough indiscipline. We have seen enough abuse of the social media. We have seen enough incompetence of leadership. And enough is enough. So ladies and gentlemen, I just want to reiterate that the MDC remains the only political party in whose in whom is reposed the hope of the people of Zimbabwe. And I know the new leadership is going to do very, very well. These are tried and tested people. I have had the opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, to appoint a special advisor to the president. And the special advisor to the president is also the leader of the Guardian Council, is Baba Edson Chiwara. He is very, very active on the social media, you know. And I see him as an epitome of justice, paragon of virtue, truth and honor. And I've worked with him. He recruited me into politics in 1988 into the opposition when he was one of the organizers of the Zimbabwe Unity Movement. He is a well-grounded man. He is a nationalist. And interestingly, he is a prayer warrior. He comes from Mavugu, and I think I have benefited and I'll continue to benefit from his wisdom. Thank you very much.
Thank you.